Hi there everybody, it's Linnea. Today I'm using some of the new products from the LDRS Creative Summer Collection to create a slimline pocket card. This is a really cute card and it's easy to make. I'm going to be using the Garden's Edge stamp set as well as the slimline droplet pocket die set, but I'm only using that outer stitched die to create my card. I'm kind of holding that up against the Garden's Edge stamp set just so that I can get an idea of which portions I want to have on my card. Because that slimline droplet pocket die is only 3 inches wide, I need to pick out my favorite small area to stamp. I'm going to set this up in my stamping platform, and then I will stamp this with some LDRS Creative Raven Hybrid ink. I am going to stamp just that. I liked that lily the best, so I wanted to be sure to have that on my card. So I'm going to use my stamping tool to make sure that I have that all the way over onto my card. And then again, I'm using that slimline droplet pocket die, and I will use my pencil and just draw some lines here on the edge so that I know where I need to color. I'm going to keep my color scheme pretty simple. I love yellow, that's my favorite color. And so these, I think that they're called Black-Eyed Susans. I'm going to be coloring them yellow and then a little bit of a C7 marker I think I used to fill in the little dots in the center of the flower. And since I'm using yellow, I wanted to have a color for the lily that was going to go well with the yellow, so I decided to use blue. I think blue and yellow flowers together are really pretty. So I'm just coloring dark to light. This is my usual method of coloring. I like to start with my darkest marker. So here this is B04. And I'm going to just add a little bit of color where I think there should be shadows. So the stamp does some of the work for me. You can see that there's those kind of lines going down the center of each of the petals. So I'll add a line of a darker marker there, as well as wherever the petals kind of overlap or touch each other, there should be a little bit of darkness there as well. B02 is my next lightest marker, so I start at the darkest and then kind of work my way down towards the light. So I started with B04 and then blended out with B02. Now I'm using B01 and just adding some more color here. And then I will come in with B00 and color all over the petals and blend all of those blue markers together. For my greens, I'm going to color the exact same way. I'm using YG09, YG06, and YG03. And again, just starting with my darkest color and then going to my medium and then to my light and coloring all over to blend all those colors together. Next up, I wanted to create a mask so that I could do some stenciling. And I realized too late that I forgot to zoom my camera back out, but all I'm doing is taking that same Garden's Edge stamp set, I left it in my stamp platform, and I'm stamping on some thin, lightweight, probably like 60-pound cardstock in alloy hybrid ink. You can use any color ink you want. This is just to create an easy mask, but since I'm going to be stenciling with alloy anyway, I decided to use that ink to create my mask. I used the coordinating Garden's Edge die and cut that out, and now I'm going to use some repositionable adhesive and stick this mask on. LDRS Creative does have some masking paper in their store. I'm just out of it. I need to reorder some for my craft room, so I created my own mask just using some thin cardstock. Next up, I'm grabbing the new brocade stencil, and I sprayed the back of it with a temporary adhesive, and I can now do some stenciling. I'm going to go ahead with that alloy hybrid ink and just stencil ink blend all over the stencil using this ink. And then I will end up going back and removing that mask that I made and lightly blending some ink towards the bottom. I thought that I would have a complete masked off look, but there was that space in between the two lilies that I thought needed just a little bit of that stenciling. So I went back and just replaced that stencil and added a little bit there. Now I'm going to take that outer frame from the slimline droplet pocket die set and cut out my card. So I'm just going to tape that in place using some temporary adhesive and run that through my die cutting machine. I will add that with some fun foam onto a piece of light blue cardstock to create a mat for my card. And then I will add a stamped sentiment. Now, originally I had stamped my sentiment from the Garden's Edge stamp set right onto the card. I thought that I would kind of create this, it's not quite a one layer, but I thought that it would have that appearance, but it just wasn't standing out enough. So I went ahead and I stamped that Hello Lovely from the Garden's Edge stamp set once again onto white cardstock and fussy cut around that with my scissors, and then I'm going to add that on top with some foam tape. And that finishes this card. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Bye!